What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Crest of Courage. Today we're going to go ahead and look at a quick deck build for the new Dragon of Courage starter deck with two decks that I've thrown together to make an upgraded version of the deck. So if you guys are new to the game, just starting out, this is mainly to give you guys kind of idea of what you'd want to do if you're just throwing two decks together to get started with. And of course, I will do a more upgraded version of the deck in a future video. So without further ado, let's start things off with the eggs. We're of course just going to play 4 Coromons. That's all you got in the deck to work with. And it is a perfectly fine egg because it does have a pretty great effect. Actually, all turns, once per turn, when an attack target is switched, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP until the end of the turn. So that's really good because there's a lot of blockers in this deck. So every time you block, you're going to get plus 1000 on your opponent's turn, potentially being able to block, you know, bigger threats than you would have been able to normally. And it's also going to be good later when we get to the more upgraded version of the deck that uses raid, because then you can actually attack security and raid into their strongest unsuspended Digimon, and that's switching an attack target, so of course you get that plus 1000 there. So yeah, then we got, of course, 4 copies of Agumon, the main Mon right here. Of course, you're going to need 4 of him. He simply gives you this effect that at the start of your main phase, if your opponent has a Digimon, you get to gain 1 memory. That's pretty useful. And then all turns, once per turn, when an attack target is switched, gain a memory. That's, again, really great for all these blockers that we've got, because that just gains you memory when they attack you and you block it, and can kind of just shut off their turn altogether if you've got a couple of those effects stacked up. But then we've got Solarmon, who on play, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's black, add it to your hand, then trash the rest. So literally every card in this deck is going to be black. So we're going to play 4 copies of him. You definitely want to be hard playing this. You mainly want to probably Digivolve him over here, and you mainly want to hard play this one because you really want to get that effect off. It's basically just a draw every time you play him, which is nice. Then we've got 4 copies of Toy Agumon. He's just a good blocker, you know. You don't want to hard play him. You also kind of want to Digivolve him on the egg if you can, because when he does block, he's going to be a 5k blocker, which for a rookie is pretty extreme. And then you don't really want to attack a player because you're going to lose 2 memory, but he's pretty beefy to be attacking over other Digimon. He can easily clear, you know, some other rookies off the board, or even some champions. And then last but not least, for our rookies, we're just going to play 2 of the Clear Agumon. It does give us reboot, so again, this is going to be more one you kind of want to Digivolve over here if you can. Agumon is, I would say, the next best one to hard play. But yeah, if you're going to have to choose which one you're going to hard play, you definitely want to be hard playing Solarmon or Agumon. And you mainly want to be Digivolving the Toy Agumons and the Clear Agumons over here, because this just gives you reboot. It just doesn't really do anything for us besides that. And I'm just playing 2 of them just to increase our rookie count some, and because we have a lot more reboot options available later on in the deck. Starting us off with the champions, of course, we've got to play 4 Wargreymons. This guy is super good, the main Mon of the champions. So we have Security. You may play 1 Agumon or 1 Tamer with Tai Kamiya in its name from your hand, or trash without paying the cost. So if this dude comes up in Security, boom, you get to play something for free. That's super good. He's also a blocker, 5k blocker, potentially 6k blocker with the Coromon egg under him. And he also has the same inheritable as Agumon, that when an attack target switched, gain 1 memory. So that's like I was saying, if you get to stack that effect a few times, you're gaining like 2 memory every time they attack you, essentially, and you block. Then we're doing a 3-3 split on these other champions from the deck. So we got 3 Mechanoriumon, just reboot. You know, you can hard play him for 4 also, because a level 4 for only 4 costs is not too bad at all. And, you know, it just gives us another source of reboot if we need it. And then Tankmon just gives us jamming. So he's with 6k and jamming, pretty safe bet to attack into Security. Unless he gets hit by an option card, he's most likely going to survive. So yeah, just 3 and 3 of each of them. But starting us off for the ultimates here, of course, again, we got to play 4 of the Metal Greymons. And this dude is so good because he does give us blocker, as well as the inheritable +1 security attack. So we're going to be dealing a ton more more damage with this guy under our big stacks, you know, being able to swing for at least 2 checks. And he's an 8k blocker, potentially 9k blocker, which is a pretty big shield for us. So he's great. And then you could play the other level 5 in the deck, who is pretty decent, but I just really like Andromon, so I'm playing a full 4 of him, because he just has, when Digivolving, De-Digivolve 1 on one of your opponent's Digimon. That is so strong. De-Digivolve, in my opinion, is one of the strongest effects in the game, so of course we're going to want to max out on that. And he also gives us another source of reboot if needed. So we have plenty of inheritables for reboot. So we're always going to have blocker reboot on our main stack here. Our big bad boss, Wargreymon, who does have the hand, counter, blast, digivolve. So this is all a bunch of new effects here. So first of all, for the hand counter effect thing, Blast Digivolve. So Blast Digivolve just says one of your Digimon may Digivolve into this card without paying the cost. However, that might be a little confusing. You do have to use the hand counter effect to get the Blast Digivolve. So the counter effect is whenever your opponent attacks, then you can activate a counter, which then lets you Digivolve them for free with the Blast Digivolve. So you don't have to pay the 3 cost to Digivolve. However, you do still have to follow the normal rules of Digivolving on a level 5, or, you know, a level 5 with Greymon in his name. But it just gets you the cost for free. So as long as you have a level 5 out that is black or has Greymon in its name, then you can, whenever your opponent attacks you, you can just Digivolve this guy on top of him for free on your opponent's turn, which is great. And he also has a blocker, which, of course, you know, you get a big 11k blocker, potentially 12k, again, from our egg there. And then all turns once per turn, when a card is removed from a security stack, you may unsuspend this Digimon. That's a great effect, because that can be very useful offensively and defensively. So, like, for instance, if your opponent were to attack you, say they had 3 Digimon out, they attack you, you blast Digivolve into this guy, he blocks the first attack, then they attack your security with their second Digimon. That gets through. They check 1. Because a card left security, he can unsuspend, and then he can block the third Digimon from attacking. So he's very, very defensive, but also very offensive, because he can attack, check a security. Once a security's been removed, he can unsuspend, and he can attack again. So that, combined with our Metal Greymon, means he could potentially get 4 security checks in 1 turn, which is some massive damage. So definitely like him a lot. He does have, however, the negative effect of being an ace, where when this card leaves the field, you just lose 4 memory, which, you know, you get to Digivolve him for free, or you could even hard play him for 6. So it's not really too big of a deal there. And then last but not least here for our level 6s, I am playing 2 of the High Andromon. It is another blocker, and it does give us, when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 8 or less. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty big card to be able to delete. Then, of course, we got to play 4 Taikamias. So he starts out, of course, he is a memory setter, which just says at the start of your turn, if you have 2 or fewer memory, set it to 3. So you get guaranteed 3 memory every turn at least to work with. And then all turns, when an attack target is switched, you may suspend this tamer to draw 1, and one of your Digimon gains plus 2,000 DP until the end of the turn. So again, really strong for our blockers, giving them plus 2k and letting you draw a card on your opponent's turn potentially is pretty great. And then, you know, just setting our memory to 3 normally. So really strong tamer. And I'm just playing 4 of each of the option cards, because why not? Gives us a few options, you know. And I like these cards. They're pretty powerful. I will say, however, you could easily drop these to maybe like 3 of each, because 4 is kind of a lot, and just play, and you know another champion, another rookie, even maybe one of the other level 5s, the Nightmon that comes in the deck is pretty decent still. So yeah, if you're feeling a little heavy on options, feel free to take out 1 of each and just throw in another Digimon. Pretty much doesn't really matter. You probably don't need any more level 3s, just another level 4, level 5 will probably be fine. But anyway, the first one here, Breakthrough of Courage. While you have a tamer with Kamiya in its name, you may use this card without meeting its color requirements. That's great if you're playing a mostly red deck, but this deck is entirely black, so it doesn't really matter. And then main, unsuspend one of your Digimon, then one of your Digimon with Greymon in its name, isn't affected by effects of your opponent's Digimon until the end of your opponent's turn. That's really strong. I do also kind of wish it said option cards as well, because that would give them some more protection to like attack into security and stuff. But, you know, it gives us an unsuspend, and if we don't have reboot somehow, then it is a good way to kind of just use this to unsuspend past turn, and, you know, you have your blocker up and ready to go. But yeah, otherwise, if you can, I would try to use that to our advantage and get a second attack in, really, or a third even if we're using Wargreymon. But then last but not least here we have Trident Arm, which is main, de-Digivolve 3, one of your opponent's Digimon. Then until the end of your opponent's turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gains start of your main phase, this Digimon attacks. So I like this card a lot. You know, de-Digivolve 3 is pretty nuts. It can take a level 6 all the way down to a rookie, and then it has to attack on the next turn. And usually you've got a blocker set up, so you're just forcing it to attack straight into you. And if you got both of the Greymon and Agumon effects active, then when they do attack and you do block, to get rid of their rookie, then you're also going to be able to gain 2 memory right away. So, you know, paying the 6 costs for that probably won't end up being too bad, because you're going to end up getting a couple memory back right away anyway. So it's a pretty cool card, I think. But that's the deck anyway. So let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. And of course, if you are enjoying this video, make sure you smash that like button. It does help me out a lot. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you don't want to miss out on the upcoming deck builds and everything that I've got for you guys. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, but that's going to do it for this one, and I'll catch you later.